Should I jump over to something else, or are you digging something
No,
up?
I'm just digging something up actually. Let me just hold this. Oh, that's cool. I really like that actually. Huh. That's sweet, man.
Download it for you.
Hmm.
I haven't downloaded anything actually from this yet.
Yeah,
Should be.
please. That one's neat. It's very reminiscent of some weird. I gotta be careful, man. I'm freaking out because I just had my signal open. There's a lot of private messages there. I was trying to send a message to myself.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of. I don't think there's anything sensitive, to be fair, but.
Yeah.
Look at
They
this!
can see
Using
my
3D
get
software
flooded
with real-time generative AI.
junk mail just like everyone else.
Yeah.
I got my
This
Tupac friends.
is your iApplied AI account, though, no?
No, that's my personal.
Oh, okay.
I don't mind. I got nothing.
If we do post these, we gotta be careful. I'm not a big fan of sharing even your information to, even if you don't care. Share my screen. May I share?
Oh yeah.
Is absolutely epic. Duo X Machina is using a 3D software called ZBrush, and in real time, it's creating the images using generative AI. Any software that you create with, including Blender, Photoshop, Procreate, Microsoft.
Can you hear this? No, probably not, eh?
No.
Okay, it doesn't matter. We don't need to see it, just in the same way that, you don't really need to listen to them. I'm just gonna actually mute him. Yeah, this is pretty nuts, man. You see the full screen now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, artists like Caden and a lot of other people can quickly conceptualize things, right? Rather than sketching it all out. This is the same as making a quick sketch. And the cool part of all this is this guy in this video is saying that these can create 3D models, right? So rather than using Blender or other tools, or maybe you can use these and transfer into Blender. I'm not exactly sure how qualitative it is, but like say for example, you create this model and it produces this, then you can quickly create 3D videos. His suggestion was actually that you can even use it in video games. So like you can create your own avatar, and you can do it really quickly.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I guess I'll use an example of a game. So there's this game called No Man's Sky. It's kind of like one of the last few video games I was really into.
Heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, and you know how much I love space exploration, right? So the premise of the game is you go from planet to planet to planet exploring, and they create original aliens in each planet, and they do it so the universe expands on their database they call it procedurally generated as you get from one planet to another. So they don't have the whole universe mapped out. It's just the users start going to this planet, to this solar system, to start generating, and then it becomes permanent on their servers. It's interesting because now if you have something that can procedurally generate that quickly, you can come up with some really fascinating aliens. I mean, I don't know. This probably would take so much computing power, and it's probably not feasible from a business standpoint. Or it could be. I don't know. Yeah, it's just fascinating what we can do because now, I'm not super familiar with Minecraft or any of those worlds, but I know there's this big one called Roblox. It's really popular for kids.
Yeah.
And you create your own avatar, and there's a whole currency system and content. Like there's a huge ecosystem. I'm not talking about a few creators making some stuff. Like there's serious businesses, creating content and I guess avatars and designs and all that kind of stuff. And that's existed for a while, but just blending that in with AI would be super fascinating because now you can go to these original procedurally generated worlds. They're all original. Yeah. Anyways,
Mhm. Yeah.
over here.
No, it's interesting because it's kind of like a different modality almost in terms of how to interact with it, right? Like voice. Now you have, GPT and Dolly, and being the best example because they have like you've integrated voice, image, and text, like all different directions, right? You can upload images, it can generate images, you can talk to it can talk to you, and this idea of like, and the other one that you're at the Korea one you're waiting for, it's like using a rough concept visually, but like you can communicate with the AI through that way versus trying to put something into words, right? That might be like to your point. I think it might be easier for some people to get the result they want in terms of a character, if they can paint it versus speak it or write it,
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Like I
visual myself.
I never even used the GPT speech until a few days ago. Like, yeah. I'm just so used to texting, and I never set it up, and I love it. Like, it's like it really felt more like a co-pilot, like a sidekick. You know what I mean? 'Cause it had like, I think our brains like associate the voice with a human entity, right, by default. So it's like it just like feels more real, and like it's still like the same. Because I don't know. I think it was when you're reading AI, it's like it sounds to me like it looks like when you're reading stuff, it seems cheesy and seems fake, and like, but like when you hear it, it kind of like it sounds authentic. Like I know it's still not necessarily authentic because like it can't have intentions, to help us or not to help us. But it's like it's weird just having this like always nice, always fucking super brilliant, always just like ready to help you out like at all times. It's like hanging out in your pocket. It's like it's pretty cool.
Well, you and I are of that camp, but didn't they intentionally make GPT talk more robotic? Or maybe that was another AI.
No, you can choose like 6 different voices. Like
no, sorry, not with GPT voice. I haven't really tried it. I only text, speech to text. But what I was saying was their answers. I remember at some point they were saying that you could GPT or another LLM where it was too realistic and it was freaking people out, right? Like you and I have talked to or used Pi AI, and I personally like that human touch, like you're saying, and I would love to have that co-pilot, but that might freak some people out. Again,
no, it's freaky. It throws in like ums and uhs
really
to sound human, and it makes it works. Like it makes it sound more human. It's like it doesn't need to say so it's like doing that to sound more human. So
did you ever see those videos? There's that game Skyrim that was really popular for like a decade or something.
Yeah.
And people modded it so that some of the characters were speaking out of GPT.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool just to see the characters live. Obviously, they were saying some silly shit, but it was still neat to see it applied to a video game, because if you think about it too, one of the things about video games, I think you know this, I really like open world and exploration. I even don't really play video games anymore. The thought of being able to have a proper conversation with an NPC where you're like, hey, rather than just giving you the regular line.
Conversation tree, right?
Yeah, like that's really cool to me. Like that really enhances the whole experience.
Yeah. And they are doing that. Like I can't remember the name of the company offhand, but I heard about this a while ago where that's a perfect application, because that's kind of like the idea of what you call it, procedurally generating, in terms of the dialogue with the characters, because it's going to be just like all of your interactions with GPT are unique. your interactions with these NPCs are going to be completely unique. No one else is going to have had that same conversation. Yeah, that's it. It does it. It's and yeah, you'll see that rolled out right away, because it's just like it's going to make it way more enjoyable. So companies are going to want to build that in as soon as they can, right? I'll share the screen again. Jump into something else here.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to show you had quite a few on that list. So.
Well, we don't need to do all of them, because like there's two more video generation updates. I mentioned the Pika Labs one. I haven't really looked at that one, so maybe we'll look at that one. There's also Microsoft Designer. They built DALL-E 3 into design software with it's called generative erase. So you can do like background erasing, like similar to the Photoshop, right? The Adobe
Right.
Express or whatever it is with the AI built in. So I don't know, like that's like a bunch of video stuff. And this HyperWrite AI, I think you'd have to download it, set it up. I don't think it seems too complicated. There's also Amazon just released an AI, and I believe Elon just released his AI, but it's part of Twitter, part of X. So you have to be an X premium member to access that one.
Sorry, I was just looking up HyperWrite. Do you mind repeating that about Elon?
Well, yeah, I said Amazon's got one too. Amazon came out with one called Q, and then Elon came out with one called Grok, which is you have to log in. You have to be a premium member on X to get access to it. And it's like its training database is essentially like all of Twitter. So it has real time access to information, and it has like a pretty substantial database, and like it's like in classic trolley Elon style. It's supposed to be like it's based on Dan Monzon's one of his favorite books or whatever it was, a movie. I actually never watched it, but Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, okay.
That like AI, I guess it's like a truth-seeking AI, and but it's like fun.
Kind
So
of
that's
a
like
sarcastic flair to it.
yes, it's fun, but it's also like it has less limitations. So like it'll answer in many cases like sarcastically, and kind of like mess with you and be funny, and like which sounds interesting, because it's like obviously all the guardrails aren't off, right? You can't have a product like that, but it's like he took some off, and like it's interesting. But that would be worth playing around with. I'm not going to pay for Twitter to do it, but
I don't know. It's such a weird, strange new world right now with with the whole drama. OpenAI, I guess they've kind of cemented themselves, and Sam Altman's really cemented himself going forward, which I guess is good.
right.
But I mean, they have such a strong competitive advantage. Like no one's gonna go on Twitter to use an AI. Like I know you and I use Snapchat, right? And they always trying to push their stupid AI chatbot. I don't use that. I think one thing that people often like to do is to have separate tools. At least I'm speaking for myself, but they have separate tools that do different functions. Like I'm sure, Snapchat's AI is probably pretty decent at the end of the day, to be honest with you.
Well, it's hard to know like what model it's actually being operated with, right?
True.
Like, and that's something I see even like with some of these like big suppliers we work with. Like we have one company, I won't say who it is, but like they meant like there's three big global players, and like they kind of like trade behind the scenes certain products, because one company is like better at one product than the other, but they just like label it as their own, and like
Oh yeah.
the end user like never really knows, right? For the most part, like, which is kind of interesting, is it's like you associate the quality of the brand with these traits, but like
It's kind of like Pi AI. I mean, you and I love Pi AI, but it's just based off of what's it, ChatGPT, essentially.
well, yeah, but then I guess the question is like how much are they doing on top of it, right? Like how much training, how much unique data and whatnot are because I know with like those guys that's Inflection AI, they're actually like the real deal, right? So they actually have like some
True. So
sort
they're
of
probably
ability.
they're just probably using the base model and okay.
Yeah. So what I have here,
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry to interrupt. I was going to show like zoom in here. So
I
this
did see this. Yeah, I did see the video of this. It's super. I mean, like you were saying earlier, this is of course the better, the select videos they choose.
but this is amazing. This is
Yeah.
way like this
Being
is
able to
insane.
change
Like
something while you're
from
walking.
scratch.
Yeah. Like the example where they threw the sunglasses on is just blowing my mind.
Oh, so that's a different feature. That's actually the video editing. So that's like you can actually upload a non-Pika Labs generated video
Oh,
and,
okay.
and like Photoshop the video. So like you'll see that coming up here, I think, on this loop right here.
Yeah, this is the one I saw. I guess maybe on TikTok or something. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you can generate something on Pika Labs and still tweak it too, right? So like that's pretty sweet. I think even Midjourney doesn't really have that capability, from what I understand, right? Like, I mean, you could, but just to go into that specific section and edit it and say,
Yeah.
because that's more like Adobe. That's more like Adobe's.
Yeah, I'll show you. I figured out. It's just a very quick side note. I figured out Face Swap with it's called Insight. That's Kate. Yeah, and then I did a couple of her. They mostly did me. I put myself in art. And these are like for thumbnails.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Ooh, I like these ones. Oh shit! You actually
That
look
one
good in these
doesn't
guys.
look quite like me, but
You
yeah.
actually
So
make
that's
like, because you're
here's
like
your
tall and
base.
skinny, so you make like a good New Orleans magician.
Yeah. So
So you
these
take
ones don't look great. It's not perfect. This one looks okay.
Which one's oh, that one's pretty good.
It's like, yeah.
So how do you,
This one's kind of cool.
what's your process?
So it's just called Insight Face Swap. You have to download. You just have to give access to the invite the bot, and then yeah, it's fairly straightforward.
And so it integrates with Midjourney.
It integrates with Discord, and so you can use it. You use them separately, but you could generate images in your Discord, and then of course,
I see.
swap them with this Insight. So I'll show you quickly how it works.
Yeah, please.
So basically, the first thing you do is you just do the save ID command, and you upload an image of like you straight on, like for example, this one would be a good one. Let's do you. I think I have enough credits for one more generation. That's not a great.
I mean, I gotta start giving you better photos of me. You keep using the same damn ones. I'm like, damn, I
I have one. Cal. Okay, here we go. So, I think I use actually.
Oh shit.
I think I use my credit, so maybe you'd have to do it on your Discord.
Okay.
Because I haven't looked at what it costs to get more, but
this is the obviously not Midjourney, but
Insight Face Swap it's called. Yeah, I'm sure it's